do you have any take for these first, let's say, 10 or so picks that we've heard come out of the Trump administration?
Absolutely, James. The recent appointments could have significant ripple effects on both the economy and the stock market. Appointing Marco Rubio as Secretary of State signals a potentially tougher stance on China. Rubio has been vocal about human rights and trade issues, so we might anticipate increased tensions or sanctions. This could affect tech and manufacturing sectors reliant on Chinese supply chains, possibly leading to market volatility in those areas. The selection of Stephen Miller as Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Tom Homan for Immigration Enforcement indicates a hardline approach to immigration. Tightening immigration could impact industries like agriculture, construction, and tech that rely on immigrant labor, potentially driving up wages, but also operational costs. The most unexpected pick is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health and Human Services. Known for his controversial views on vaccines, his appointment could lead to policy shifts affecting pharmaceutical companies and public health initiatives. Biotech and pharma stocks might see increased volatility as a result. The rise in the 10-year yield to 4.4% reflects expectations of higher inflation and increased government spending. This could strengthen the dollar initially, but might hurt export-heavy industries in the long run. Overall, while there's potential for growth in certain sectors, these picks also introduce significant risks that savvy investors should hedge against. Diversification and staying informed will be key in navigating this new political and economic landscape.
Yeah, you hit a lot of really important points there. So you talked about a lot of the risks here, whereas I think the market initially reacted by just going out and buying everything. But this week we've had a little bit of a calculated pullback, I'd say. So the two names that we didn't initially discuss are Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. So they're going to be on this Department of Government Efficiency. They'll be outside the government. It's kind of difficult to understand exactly where they'll be. But my question, so first of all, if they're going to be on a special committee, the Department of Government Efficiency outside the government, will they have access to all sorts of internal government records? Is that legal for them to have access to all that? And then I guess really my concern with that is that if they actually do cut a significant amount of government jobs, a lot of economists are saying that's a guaranteed recession. So just looking over the past few months, we had some hurricanes and we had labor strikes, including Boeing. And man, the job numbers came way down to recession levels just based on those things. Now, we didn't have a huge reaction to the stock market because people knew it's due to these temporary things that are going to reverse. But if we put a huge amount of people out of work from government positions, that's not necessarily a quick temporary thing that's going to go right back, like hurricane damage that leads to employees coming back to work after the hurricane is cleaned up, or a Boeing strike where the strike ends and employees come right back. Tons of government employees out of work wouldn't necessarily be a quick resolution. So my question to you is, what percent of the government would really need to be cut to cause a recession? How many job losses are we talking about that would be significant, that would lead to, let's say, decreased purchasing power across the economy and actually impact corporate margins? What level of cuts are we looking at that would actually result in that?
That's a crucial question, James. Government employment makes up about 15% of the U.S. workforce. To trigger a recession, we'd likely need to see job cuts amounting to around 1.5 to 3 million government jobs. Such a significant reduction would slash consumer spending, denting corporate revenues across sectors like retail, housing, and even tech. If Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy spearhead aggressive efficiency measures leading to mass layoffs, the immediate effect could be a sharp decline in GDP growth. Lower disposable income means decreased demand for goods and services, which could compress corporate margins and earnings. From an investment standpoint, this scenario might increase market volatility. Options traders could see higher implied volatility premiums, making strategies like protective puts more attractive. Bonds might rally despite higher yields as investors seek safety. However, there's also an unlikely but intriguing possibility. If the private sector rapidly absorbs these laid-off workers, perhaps spurred by deregulation and new industries like AI, the negative impact could be mitigated. Yet, that's a tall order in a short time frame.
So, cutting just 1 to 2% of government jobs would lead to a recession. That's pretty scary, especially considering that Elon Musk cut a huge percentage of Twitter's staff when he came into Twitter. And he just recently cut up to 10% of Tesla's staff. He even cut the supercharger team at Tesla.